This is Brian Drummond here, the OG voice of Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, and you're watching Anime Secrets. It's over 9,000!
Toku Secrets is a podcast run by the Anime Secrets website. Check us out at animesecrets.org for more anime, video game, tokusatsu content. Remember to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts today.
Oh, yes! This is Goldar, and you're listening to Toku Secrets Podcast. Don't tune us out, tune us in!
Welcome to Toku Secrets. Join us as we journey into the marvelous world of Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Power Rangers, and many other tokusatsu. Get ready for the adventure of a lifetime. It's Morphin time! Link to the Morphin. I'm Nathan Asai, the dazzling adventurer, Spoken Silver.
I'm Patrick Allen, I'm Shinken Red.
And I'm Rizwan Merchant, Gokai Red.
And I'm Anthony Davis, also known as Curie Green. And we're Toku Secrets.
What is going on, Toku Nation? This is Rizwan from the Toku Secrets podcast, and I'm joined today by Anthony and Patrick. Unfortunately, Nathan could not join tonight because we're getting ready for Ranger Stop Orlando later this week, and also work schedules and life have been a little bit crazy. But the Toku Secrets podcast did want to take a little bit of time to talk about our Gozu unicorn, Maya Imamori, who played Sumino in the season. As many of you in the Tokusatsu fandom have heard by now, Maya has been terminated from Gozyuger, and she's effectively being erased from Gozyuger going forward, due to scandals and affairs and all kind of other crazy allegations. Now, this podcast will be a little bit different than stuff we've done in the past, because we typically, as a Toku Secrets podcast, do not really get into the drama side of Tokusatsu, Super Sentai, Power Rangers. There's other people out there that cover that stuff better than we do. But given the impact that this termination is going to have on our Gozyuger reviews going forward, and just because of how crazy everything is when you really dig into it, we felt it best to kind of dig in and kind of give a good explanation for what is actually going on, because there's a lot of speculation going back and forth about, well, why is Maya being released? What does he do? What's going on? What this podcast will not really be able to do a lot of is speculate on the future of Gozyuger. It's an active thing as we go. We know she was taken out of episode 37 this past weekend. However, episode 38 next week was supposed to be a Maya-focused episode. I don't think it will be anymore, but I'm not going to speculate too much on that. So yeah, I'll pause here for a second just to say also, Maya is the first Black female Ranger we've ever had in history in Sentai or Rangers. So her role's pretty important, but more so than that, Maya was a really fantastic Sentai Ranger, and somebody I think, had the writing of the show been a little bit better, she could have excelled and become one of the GOATs of the franchise. And it's very upsetting to see her fall from grace in this way. I don't know, Anthony or Patrick, if you want to add anything here on that.
Yeah, especially because this being an anniversary season, which has a lot of eyes on it inherently, and the murmurs going around about this being the last season to be named Super Sentai, for it to have this kind of story around it is just going to leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth about this season forever.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's very unfortunate. I'm going to talk a little bit about like the impacts of what the fandom is saying about all this later, but there's a lot of speculation out there that Super Sentai is being rebranded in part due to this. And I just want to squash that rumor right here, right now. From everything I've seen and researched, this unfortunate termination of Maya Imamori is not why Super Sentai is rebranding for next year.
Yeah, that kind of stuff is something they talk about like a year or two in advance. Like this has been in the works for a long time.
Yeah, this was just poorly timed, but
Yeah.
there's no correlation.
Exactly. And on top of that, so Anthony and Patrick don't know this yet, but I am also planning a very big deep dive into the contracts between Hasbro and Toei and kind of explaining why this makes sense to do. But that's for another video. We're here today to talk about what's going on with Gozyuger primarily. Now, it's a very convoluted history, a lot of moving parts. So I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off by first talking about the big thing that kind of set everything off in the negative direction. And that'll be a look into a Japanese tabloid called Bunshun. They have released 2 articles. I have copies of both articles now. I paid the paywall subscription to get a copy of it because I just had to see for myself what was going on. I mean, I know there's people online who have kind of deep dived into it and they've talked about it. But if we're going to do a video like this, it's better for our team to have from the horse's mouth what is Bunshun alleging.
Right.
So without further ado, I am going to sift the screen over to the first article. Okay, so this is the first Bunshun article released on September 10th, 2025. And kind of for personal context of me, this news kind of broke around the time that Kaiju Matsuri was going on in San Antonio. And so I was around a bunch of Toku fans and it's all kind of breaking out. So I heard a lot of murmurings from the community at the time, but it was hard to keep track of things in real time. And today is my first time really actually reading the article maybe a couple hours ago. So let's get into it. So the Bunshun article starts off with the title of Gozyuger Red leaves the show due to an affair with Black within the Sentai. Now, keep in mind, these are all going to be translated using Google for us to understand and digest. So you're going to see some bad grammar. You're going to see some potential spelling mistakes. You're going to see some weirdness in how it's written. So we're going to do some interpretation in real time of the English that we did get translated to fill in context if we need to. Just throwing it out there that this is not an English written article, but a Google translation of the Japanese for us to understand it. Now, it starts by saying, due to the worsening of his chronic illness, it has become difficult for him to continue playing the role in full health for the long term from Toei official website for the program. We have that official notice. I'll get to that later. Number 1 Sentai Gozyuger from TV Asahi is currently airing on September 1st. It was announced that the absolute center of the squadron, Red, would suddenly step down. Now, this is a very misleading comment here. And why do I call this misleading is because, again, when I'm at Kaiju Matsuri, hanging with my Toku friends, doing my thing, I'm seeing on Reddit, Red Wolf is stepping down. And my first thought was, Horaro's actor is stepping down? What the heck is going on here? But it's not Horaro's actor, it's the guy who wore the suit. Because you gotta remember, the people you see in the civilian form are not the ones that are in the suit most of the time, if ever. And if they are, it's like a helmetless thing just to kind of show like some scene where they're just in their suit but not wearing the helmet. Yeah. Anyway, it's kind of like what Mighty Morphin did a lot of back in the day. They had a lot of scenes in the command center with them not wearing the helmets, just kind of so, hey, these are the Rangers. They're wearing the suit, but here's their face. You have proof it's them. Anyway, going on. This year marks the 50th anniversary of the Super Sentai series and the commemorative production Gozyuger, which sees the 5 heroes transform into creatures based on Super Sentai, such as animals and dinosaurs. It's a unique story in which heroes fight against evil organizations while also fighting among themselves for the title of strongest. All 49 main characters from the series are scheduled to appear. Now, that is a translation glitch. It should say all 49 main seasons are being utilized throughout this season. So, just kind of want to throw that out there that it's not some list of 49 characters. It's just 49 seasons of history that they're trying to talk about here. We got a photo of Gozu Red, and this has been a stepping stone for popular actors such as Yokohama Ryusei and Matsuzaka Tori. If I'm saying these names wrong, I apologize. I am terrible at speaking other languages. The popularity of suit actors who transform into suit actors and perform action scenes without revealing their faces is also on the rise. That might be more true in Japan. I don't know how true it is here in America. I think we have a lot of Marvel fatigue here. But I mean, if it is true over there, that's awesome. I'm all for it. Fans flock to the superhero shows in which they appear. In the past, they were seen as behind-the-scene actors, but in this film, the suit actors' names are listed alongside their character name in the credits. This is actually kind of interesting to me because not many people, at least here, when we're talking Power Rangers, really think about the suit actor or the stunt actor or whatever. They just think about the actor who played the character in the civilian form.
Yep.
So I do find it good.
Are the suit actors for Power Rangers ever credited even in the end credits?
I don't believe they are all the time, but I do know that they're on IMDb. I've actually met 2 of the suit actors in the past. I've met Danny Wayne, who was the Black Ranger from Mighty Morphin for a number of, I think like at least season 2 and 3. He was also in he was also different monsters throughout. Like he was Zendrax and Wild Force. He was. Yeah, so he had some different roles where he's in the suit. And I also met Hien Nguyen, who played our GOAT, Tommy Oliver, as the Green and White Ranger, as a suit actor for that. So they do get some notoriety in America. They are at cons every now and then, but not very often do we see them pop up or even get the credit that they deserve. And mind you, I do believe suit actors deserve to be recognized for their work.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because
they're the ones doing all the stunts.
Exactly. And it's kind of demeaning when you think about it, like, hey, we don't really ever give them credit. They need credit. It's part of it. But anyway, moving on. The main character of Gozyuger is Sentai Red Gozu Wolf. He has an extraordinary sense of smell like a wolf and transforms by howling. True, he does. The suit actor for this role was Kosuke Asai, age 41. That's important for later. He is a top suit actor. He has played both the main character Red and Kamen Rider #1 in the Super Sentai series. Something only 3 people have achieved in the past, including him. I don't know too much about it. I do know that he has a pretty good history of being the guy who plays a lot of Reds throughout. Looking back at my notes, he started in Super Sentai and Kamen Rider back in 2019 with Ryu Soldier. He went on to do Kira Mazer. He was Red for both of those. In Zenkaiser, he was Zenkaiser. Dawn Brothers, he's Momotaro. And he's Kuwagata Ozer and King Ozer. And he's appeared in some live shows and promotional stuff for King Ozer and the Gozyuger pre-production. And of course, he is our Gozu Red Wolf for the current #1 Sentai Gozyuger. So this timeline I just mentioned is also important, but I'll explain why this is important later on. Okay. So let's see. His action scenes are powerful and cool while maintaining a physique that is not far removed from the slender build of the young actor who plays the character before transformation. In the film, he was personally nominated to play Red by the producer, who was impressed by Asai's acting. Okay, I mean, that's cool. Moving on down. So up until this point, this article is mainly just kind of talking about Asai and who he is to give context, which is also great to give context for you guys because Asai is very much part of the story. On September 1st, it was announced that Asai would suddenly step down due to a worsening chronic illness and be replaced by another suit actor. However, the chronic illness has undergone a transformation for a real reason, as the production staff hussed up to reveal. Even though Asai was married with children, he had an affair within the squadron. His partner is the heroine who fought alongside him. She is 19 years old and plays the pre-transformed version of the first Black female warrior in history, Gozyuger Unicorn. She is originally from Miyazaki Prefecture and is half Japanese and half Filipino. Also, something we'll come back to later on, just FYI. After winning the Miss Magazine Grand Prix in 2023, she has frequently appeared on the covers of manga magazines, the aforementioned reporter. Okay. And here's a photo of our girl Maya with her suit next to her. And then Imamori's character is intensely charming and plays a so-called cute and cunning character. To prepare for the role, I watched the programs of my seniors, and what that means is what Sentai actors came before her at the agency. Imamori Kasumi, who is also known as the Reiwa-era Azota Queen, to study cunning. She herself has always been proactive in love and has always been a bit risky, said an acquaintance of Imamori. It is not clear whether Asai said Gozyu's catchphrase, "You are my prey," but he began attacking Imamori shortly after the show began in February of this year. I'm going to pause here for a second and just say, this is really vile and gross wording that the article used. I'm not surprised they used it because it is a tabloid, but this is very disgusting to me.
Makes him sound very like provocative and try to make him look bad.
Well, they're trying to pin him for victimizing a young 19-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And I think that's really, if it is true, if that's what happened, he sucks. But I think this imagery is a little over the top and unnecessary to get the message across. So they're saying this began in February. The show began in February, but we'll get to that in a bit. Asai sent Imamori a direct message on social media, and they immediately hit it off and started dating. In between his busy schedule filming, Asai would invite Imamori over to his house when his wife wasn't around and vice versa, instead of personal acquaintance of the two. However, their relationship did not last long, as another man showed a keen sense of smell similar to wolves. I really hate the way they have the wolf trope in here. It really is disgusting to me.
Yeah.
It was Asai's wife. She was furious and contacted Imamori's agency. Then an off-field battle, hang on, let me scroll down. Then an off-field battle broke out between Asai's wife and Imamori. His wife wanted Imamori to explain the situation to her personally, but her agency refused. Asai apologized profusely to his wife, saying, "It's my fault." This summer, Toei, the production company for the show, also learned of the couple's affair. Toei discussed how to proceed and decided that only Asai would step down. His departure caused a change in the filming schedule. A rift has developed between Imamori, who caused the commotion, and other co-stars. The filming site is in chaos, said a staff member mentioned above. How would the person involved respond? We asked Asai directly. Did she leave the show because of her affair with Imamori? Okay, so Japanese pronouns or gender pronouns, however you want to put that, is incorrect here. This did read, did he leave the show because of his affair with Imamori? So scrolling down to the end of the article, did she leave the show because of her affair with Imamori? Who's saying that? For multiple people, who is it? Who were you having an affair? The translation says he whispered no. And when you look at other translations of this article, which I have, I didn't just rely on the Google translation for this. The translation at this point, when it says whispering no, actually says something more along the lines of, In a whispered tone, he whispered no, and he denied any such affair with her. But Google's translation didn't really give all that detail, which is fine. But I can still kind of supplement it from what the other translation said. I don't speak Japanese, so I don't know which one's more correct. But the idea is he did deny the affair. Although he denied it midway through, his voice was far from a wolf. Again with the freaking wolf. Okay. Anyway, Imamori's agency said, "We are currently verifying the facts internally," when asked about Asai's reason for leaving the show due to an affair, Toei said. "We are not in a position to comment on the private lives of our cast members," the company responded. Asai has stated he intends to retire from suit acting. The price of his sayings of heart was too high. And that is the first article in the series. I'm going to pause here and let you guys kind of have the floor to talk if you want for a second before we move on.
Okay. I'll start.
Okay.
This is honestly kind of very disappointing if this is true, which I'm saying allegedly is true. I'm not sure about the details of that. It's like, as much as I know you guys were having a hard time enjoying the show because there are some flaws, and I will admit it. I'm not going to sit there and try to defend the show to the death and be like, "Oh, it's a great show." It's not. But I still enjoyed it because I guess I'm just in for the long haul. I'm just waiting for to see how it all ends. Um, it's very it's very telling how how quickly they got quickly after everything happened with her and her agency and all that, just up and just abandon her after all this. It's just pretty wild for me.
Yeah.
My problem with this article is that it doesn't have very many secondary sources. It's all just hearsay.
Agreed.
And I've said this a handful of times. I'm currently studying media. I'm in school to be a journalist right now. This is one of the first rules they tell you not to do when you're writing a news story is don't rely on hearsay. You need proof. You need quotes from reputable sources for your story to have any validation. The fact that this is all based off of hearsay and the fact that it's carrying so much weight is just ridiculous. This is essentially National Enquirer crap, and people are taking it seriously.
It is. If anyone you talk to, and I've talked to one or two people from overseas in Japan about it, and the people I've talked to have said, "Yeah, this is the equivalent of National Enquirer or whatever. It's a tabloid. They're not meant to be."
You don't take that paper seriously. It's almost written as a serious joke. The writers write it seriously, but everybody knows it's bull crap.
Yeah.
So why are you taking this one seriously?
It's really frustrating to see them do this. It really, I have thoughts, but I'm going to wait until we get through the second article. But I do want to say that he does deny in this article that he didn't have an affair. So that's very telling to me given where we are now. But let's move on to the second article unless you got anything else to add.
No, move on.
Okay. So this is the second article. It was published a week later on September 17th, 2025. Gozyuger affair. Is Black Warrior Imamori Maya cheating on the Japanese national soccer team member? Whew, what the heck? Okay. So, going into the article, in the previous issue of the Weekly Bunshun, intra-Sentai affair occurred between co-stars of the Super Sentai. The heroine at the center of the controversy has an even bigger secret. A controversy arose during the broadcast of number one Sentai Gozyuger, a commemorative series for the 50th anniversary of Super Sentai series by TV Asai. The suit actor for the main character, Sentai Red Gozyuger Wolf, is married to Kosuke Asai. Okay, again, bad translation. What they're saying, he's a married man. And the actor who plays the untransformed Black Warrior Gozyuger Unicorn is 19 years old, Imamori Maya. Asai stepped down after the show after an affair between the two was discovered. When the Weekly Bunshun magazine reported the incident, it caused a stir. Yeah, it caused a stir in our fandom as well. So I imagine it was a pretty big deal in their community over there. So, Toei, the production company, initially announced it changed due to Asai's worsening chronic illness, but it was revealed that this is just a pretense. After the news of the affair broke, there were criticisms that it's not something children can watch. However, filming has already been completed for the next 2 to 3 months. So it's difficult to make any further changes to the cast or content to the source close to the show. Former Miss Magazine model Imamori, who is currently on the rise in popularity, has been caught up in an unexpected scandal. Her past X post, formerly known as Twitter, are also a hot topic. So this next piece over here that we're going to read is actually a tweet that Imamori made back in 2019. It's her saying, "I'm watching Loopat right now. The actors are so cool, it's exhausting, and I don't want to watch it anymore. It's exhausting. I love how cool they are." I'm not sure exhausting is the right word here. I'm assuming this is probably something more along the lines of it's exhilarating. Just based on context clues for that. The tweet is now deleted, and for the record, Maya's Twitter account is currently private, so you can even go look at it if you want to. I was not following her prior, so I don't have to access to go look at it anymore. It will be taken over by someone related to Toei. So, Loopat is Kaito Sentai Lupin Ranger versus Kasatsu Sentai Pata Ranger, was broadcast in 2018, in which Asai was a suit actor for the lead role. And if I remember correctly from my timeline, let me pull up my notes real quick. Yeah, I think he had some history before that, but I'm only looking at 2019 onwards for my other info. Anyway, so he was in Loopat at probably the Red, if I had to guess. Yeah, lead role. In other words, at the time of posting, she was making her love for Asai public. In fact, even on set of Gozyuger, she looked upon Asai's physical abilities of great respect and openly declared to those around her that he was irresistibly cool. Now, I'm going to stop right there for a second and just say the tweet about Loopat was in 2019. Currently, today, Maya is 19. So 2019 was 6 years ago. So at that time, she was a 13-year-old girl. Now, I'm going to say this bluntly. I don't think any kid, Japanese or American, when they're watching a Sentai or a Power Ranger or whatever, they're not thinking about the suit actor. They don't even know what a suit actor is. They just see a really cool person who transforms and wears a colorful spandex outfit to fight crime or fight monsters of the day and all that stuff. So for them to take the words of a literal child and try to make it something more to prove their point is very vile to me.
Yeah, this is all being taken out of context, more than likely.
It is, and it's very gross to me that they're doing it in this way.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, Asai is like 41 at this point, and so he's a full-grown adult man working in the industry, and sees a little kid in middle school or high school. I don't know how the Japanese school system works, but one of the two. Definitely a kid. So anyway, as a young actress, it is not surprising that she got too immersed in her cute and cunning role and made a mistake. However, Asai was not her number one. An acquaintance of Imamori spoke in a hushed voice. In fact, Imamori-san had another boyfriend that she was in a serious relationship with. Her boyfriend is Yutaka Mitsawaki, 19-year-old, a professional soccer player who was selected for the Japanese under-20 national team this year and participated in the Asian Cup. He is a tall forward standing at nearly 190 centimeters and is a talented player who skipped grades and made his professional debut at the age of 16 from the academy of J2 Rosso Kumamoto. He is a candidate to become Japan's ace striker in the future, according to the sports newspaper reporter. In addition, in July 2012, he was loaned from Kumamoto to SK Beveren in the Belgian second division where he's currently playing. I'm not sure if they meant to say 2012 here. I'm going to guess that that's a typo and that's 2022. That would make more sense to me, just given how old he is right now. It is said that their relationship is well known to close acquaintances. Here's a photo of our soccer player in Belgium, apparently. Photos of Michikawa's face frequently appear on Imamori's private social media account, and images that appear to be line conversations between the two are also posted. They also seem to have occasional lover quarrels, and sometimes Mitsawaki expresses anger towards her, saying, 2 years have been wasted, according to Imamori's acquaintance mentioned above. Okay.
Just ask the guy if everything you're saying is true, he would say it, especially if he's upset with her about it. But there's no direct quote from him. This is just taking what people are saying online and then filling in the blanks yourself.
Agreed. And on top of that, I went looking for any like screenshot of anything to do with Maya and him. Like, did she post about him on Twitter? Did they have a relationship or anything? I didn't find anything. And typically you'll find something somewhere. All you find is people talking about this article itself. But that's not to say that they were not in a relationship. They could have been. I don't know. So going down, nevertheless, the relationship continues. She had planned to go to Belgium to meet Mitsawaki and had discussed her schedule with the agency. When Mitsawaki returned to Japan in May of this year, they apparently enjoyed a date in his hometown of Kumamoto. Cool. Okay, they had a date. They're a passionate couple. They usually have a long-distance relationship between Japan and Europe. To ease her loneliness, Imamori may have started cheating on him with an adult nearby. Imamori's agency stated they were confirming the facts regarding the affair, but when asked again about his two-timing relationship with Mitsawaki, he responded primarily as follows. After confirming the facts with all parties involved, we have found that they are not currently in a relationship, nor have they ever been seen cheating on each other in the past. Now, this is a very loaded statement that we need to really dissect for a minute here. They're saying that the agency, in this case, it's Seiju, Imamori's agency, has released some kind of statement to Bunshun saying, hey, we checked with all parties involved, and we have found that they are not currently in a relationship and they have not been seen cheating on each other in the past. What does that mean to y'all? That means, to me at least, that, hey, they talked to Maya, they talked to the soccer player, and they talked to Asai. And they found that Maya and the soccer player are not in a relationship and that they were not seen cheating on each other in the past. Because that's the only way you could do is by talking to all three of them.
Yeah.
So this one line debunks everything, and they're debunking it themselves.
So the one time they actually do get a second party, third party source quote from somebody, it completely derails their whole argument and they proceed to ignore it.
Exactly.
This
irony.
This is journalism malpractice.
It is.
This whole thing is journalism malpractice.
It's horrible, man. I mean, I don't understand how this is allowed to go this far. Okay. Let me finish out this article because we do have a lot of other content to cover tonight. Did she break up with Mitsawaki? We asked Mitsawaki's agent, but we received no response by the deadline. Meanwhile, on September 15th, Japan time, after the news of her affair with a member of the Sentai was released, Mitsawaki scored a goal for the first time in a long time in a local match. That's so irrelevant and just...
Yeah.
They're pulling at straws to make their argument because they have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They're literally pulling at straws here. There's nothing in this article that gives me anything to say confidently that, yeah, they had any kind of affair.
I'm surprised that last part we said they didn't get back to us, that they wouldn't see, we're true. See, they didn't say anything.
Right. Yeah. So
I was very guilty. It's like,
yeah. Just to be a completionist, the last line of the article reads, aim to be the one and only. Okay.
What?
I don't know. I'm assuming that's a translation problem. But anyway, let me go to the next slide here and see what we got. Okay. So this is from Kosuke Asai's Instagram. This is still up on Instagram even now. It was posted on August 31st. And it reads, in English, mind you. This is Instagram's translation of Japanese text, mind you. And it says, to everyone for your continued support, this is a sudden announcement, but I have decided to replace the role of Gozyu Wolf. Thank you for your warm support, even though it was a short period. I can only thank Fukuzawa-san for teaching me everything about the following akas and red from Nagata-san. Again, from the producer, I was more than happy to be able to choose red by name. Can you please go to Asai Hiroshi? Super Sentai has continued to give dreams and hopes in my life. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all the cast and staff that I have worked with so far, and I am more than grateful to have played a significant role in this important 50th anniversary milestone. Thank you very much, sir. We also sincerely apologize for the substitution in the middle of the broadcast. Finally, thank you very much to everyone who greeted me, Hiroshi Asai. Now, if this is all we had to go off of, this would indicate that he's stepping down because of the affair. Because Toei made a choice to say, no, we don't need you to be a suit actor. We need Maya to continue being Gozyu Unicorn. But this is not the only thing we have.
But wait, there's more.
Exactly. Now, before I get to the next couple of photos, I do want to state the first of the two photos I'm going to show is a now deleted post on Asai's Instagram. And I had to go through some painstaking digging to find it, but I found it. So let's get into it. Now, this was posted on January 26th of 2025. And because this is a screenshot from somebody else, the style in which it reads is a little bit different. It has Japanese on top and English at the bottom, which is kind of cool, but whatever. He writes, it's been a long time. As a suit actor, I have something to tell each of you who supports Hiroshi Asai. Number one Sentai Gozyuger, I have decided to leave Japan Action Enterprise. Japan Action Enterprise, for the record, is the agency that he's working with. For the last time with this piece. Thank you so much for your warm encouragement. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for the next year. Thank you very much. As a suit actor, best believe I'll be on the final live tour nationwide stage. All right. So this post is made and then subsequently deleted. And a day later, it is replaced with this. And this post is still on Instagram even today. It was posted on January 27th. And it says, Japanese translation from Instagram Meta once again, regarding the post of 26 January to everyone at the office as of last year, I had prior approval to leave. However, I did not confirm with the office regarding the post on January 26th. Therefore, I've decided to delete the post from 26. It's selfish, but I want to take care of the past year as myself. I just apologize if anyone is offended. As a key, I will be closing Instagram with this post. I am very sorry. So, number one, he did not stop posting on this account. He posted quite a bit after, just life stuff, whatever, nothing of significance. But this being posted at the end of January tells me that he had plans to step down well in advance of anything to do with the affair, if we're to believe the Bunshun comment that the affair began in February. So I don't think he stepped down from being Gozyu Wolf's suit actor because of the affair. I think he intended to do one last season because it was the 50th, but he couldn't complete it because of health conditions.
Yeah, because this is around the time that a season ends and a new season begins. This is around late January or February. So this could have been his way of saying, well, Gozyuger is going to be my last Sentai. So
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
And then he tried to make it, and then about halfway in, he realized he couldn't, so he stepped aside. Like, that's pretty easy to understand, I think.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, the reason I brought up both posts is only because in the second post, he references the first. And I wanted to make sure I understood the context in the first one. Did he mention the health condition? Did he mention anything else of interest? He didn't. So
No.
that's the only reason I wanted to call to light both Instagram posts and why I went through the hassle of trying to find it. Okay. So with all this said, the next is some reactions from Reddit, some of which is a little bit more telling and gives more support to his chronic illness. Now, keep in mind, this is on Reddit. This is from a random person. I don't know who this person is. His username is Dopey Dragon. If you're listening to Dopey Dragon, hello. I'm sorry you're being dragged into this because you mentioned this thing on a Reddit post. But he commented on the Instagram post link in the Super Sentai subreddit saying he has epilepsy. He posted about taking medication for it once on his now deleted Twitter account. That provides some credence to give credibility to, hey, he had a medical condition. He posted about it on his Twitter. It's a real thing. It's not something made up to get him out of the role and because he, had an affair. It's a real thing. But this is hearsay. It has no real credence in terms of like it's an authority that we can trust, right? But the next article I'm going to pull up is a blog. This blog is a blog by Soka Gakkai, member of Saitama. It's a Japanese blogger, and this is written back in 2022. The article is mainly about Dawn Brothers, and it kind of digs into Kosuke Asai a little bit. But the part I want to kind of jump to here in the article, I'm not going to read the whole article here because it's not important. But right here, it says, in 2019, he suffered an epileptic seizure. Currently, with the understanding and support of those around him, he continues to work while undergoing treatment. He will appear in the new Super Sentai series, which will begin airing on TV Asai from the day after tomorrow, the 6th. So this is very important because now we have another place kind of mentioning, hey, he had epilepsy, he had epileptic seizures. It's all kind of tying together, especially if you're to believe that he posted about this on his personal Twitter. So one question that popped in my mind as I was kind of digging into this, I'm not going to bore y'all with these pages because it's not going to give you any big revelation, but it will kind of support part of this line right here. Currently, with the understanding and support of those around him, he continues to work while undergoing treatment. From 2019 until now, Asai has not had to be replaced or done anything to tap out, let somebody else take over for a little while. From 2019, so that's Dawn Brothers, that's King Odzer, Ryo Solzer, and whatever else I said earlier, all the way until now. And so this tracks. He continued working, but he had support from those around him to keep doing what he was doing with the treatments. So maybe they worked around his schedule, maybe they were accommodating to him to help him do what he wanted to do. But at a certain point, it got to be too much for him. So he said at 2024, 2025, yo, I'm out. Also of importance on these Instagram posts, when he posted out in January, they had already been filming for at least, depending on the source you're talking to, they've either been filming for 3 months or 6 months. So 2 to 5 months, depending, because at that point it hadn't even aired Gozyuger yet. Meaning, at the latest, they began filming in November. At the earliest, 3 months prior, so that'd be August, September timeframe. And the reason for this discrepancy of me understanding what's the more correct one is I was just informed earlier today that maybe Sentai had changed their policy on how far out they had to do filming because they had to get the completed episode out to international approvals early. In this case, I think I heard China being the place where they want to go through the entire episode first and do any censoring they had to do to align with the Chinese media policies. So he was working for quite a while at that point, doing this before he stepped down or wanted to step down. Okay. So going on to not a tabloid. So now we're looking at Oricon News. Oricon is a pretty well-known and reputable news source in Japan. And again, I'm not going to go through anything in here really. But basically, I just want to point out, this was posted on September 1st, and it's saying he stepped down due to worsening of chronic illness. And that's supported by Toei's official website, announcing the suit actor had stepped down due to worsening illness. They don't mention anything in here about him having an affair, anything about like a scandal. It's all very much tracking with the idea that he was sick.
Yeah, because if they're one of the bigger news sources in Japan, they would have done that research. They would have asked around, double checked, make sure if there was actually anything. And if they found nothing, which I'm assuming there's not, then there's no reason to bring it up.
Right. Exactly.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Now we're going to get to the more tragic part of the tale. So from September until now, we've had, Maya continuing to work, continuing to have episodes come out. But 4 days ago from now, today's 11th, so, the 7th, Maya put this on her Instagram and deleted all other posts on her Instagram. And it says, "I would like to sincerely apologize for the inconvenience and concern caused to many of you due to my indignant behavior. Drinking while being a minor is a very shameful act. As an employee and a human being, it is not acceptable for any reason. I painfully realize the gravity of my action and I'm deeply reflecting on it. Once again, I apologize to all my fans and associates who have supported me so far, and to all my performers and co-actors for the inconvenience caused. Throughout this case, I will reflect on myself as immature, accept the fact that I have betrayed my trust, and sincerely reflect on my lifestyle so that I don't allow this to happen again. I am very sorry for this." Posted on November 8th. So, this is a very troubling moment for Gozyuger because now she had to step away. So, what does that mean? If you think about it, 3 months back or 6 months back, they've already been filming most everything. So by this point, you would expect most of the stuff would have been completely filmed and probably in post-production getting ready to be aired. So would they really go through and erase her out of the Super Sentai going forward? Spoilers, they did. Episode 37, They don't even have her in it. They zoomed in on the scenes where she was in it to not even show her.
They altered the
opening, took her out completely.
Yeah. They took her name out of credits. They altered the opening. It's a really bad opening, by the way. It's kind of cringe.
Oh, yeah. You can tell that it was like done in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if they were okay. I can't not. Well, actually, you know what? I can't even say because we haven't watched the episodes yet. But this has happened before, where like somebody doesn't appear for a few episodes and they're out of the opening, but it does in a way where it's clever, but it's like it's not too bad of a notice, but it's a note. You'll notice the character not being there, but
I mean, it happened last season with Genba.
That's true. Yeah.
They had an interesting thing with that where they just didn't look at their boom booms your card. Like that was clever and done intentionally. But
yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So, several characters were out of the opening for a minute. It was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But no, this is not that. This is not them just cleverly taking out somebody because plot. This is them erasing her existence from everything. And to kind of move along to another reputable news site, TBS Newsdig is confirming that they have terminated her contract for underage drinking. So in Japan, just for context, it's not allowed to consume alcohol under the age of 20. And in doing so, it's a serious breach of contract. Now, what contract are we breaching here? It's the contract with the talent agency, not with Toei, not some legal binding thing like a federal Japanese law. This is part of their breach of contract with Maya and the company Seizu. And here is Seizu's own notice of termination for Maya Imamori. Again, translated. I think Google did this translation for me. I can't remember. This is on my phone a few nights ago. But anyway, Maya Imamori notice of termination of management contract. We would like to express our sincere gratitude for your continued support of our talent. It has been confirmed that Maya Imamori, a talent affiliated with our company, was drinking alcohol despite being under the age of 20. We have determined that this action constitutes a serious breach of contract, and after careful discussion, we have terminated our management contract with Maya Imamori as of today. We deeply apologize for the inconvenience and concern caused to the fans who regularly support our company and our affiliated talents, as well as to all other parties involved due to this matter. We take this matter very seriously and will work to prevent a reoccurrence. Let me go to the next page. And prevent a recurrence by further strengthening compliance, education, and management systems for our affiliated talent. We would like to thank you for your continued understanding and support in the future. So that's the termination from Seizu, who is her talent agency. Now, for those of y'all listening to this podcast at home, you're probably wondering, where'd the infidelity go? Where'd all that go? It's not here. They're not talking about it. Did y'all see any mention of infidelity? Did y'all see any mention of Gozy Will Suit Actor? Or
nope.
They came up with another reason to get rid of her. And okay, so to the American mind, this is a very extreme move to make, right? To say, nope, you're caught drinking underage, terminate immediately. And so it's unclear. Did Maya go on a drinking binge? Did she get like blackout drunk, partying at some bar and make a fool of herself? Or did she have a sip of an alcoholic beverage at some event where an adult gave her a sip, or had one glass? It's not clear. From the rumor mill, it sounds like the way she got caught was her TikTok had a video of her drinking underage at some bar, and that is what alerted everyone to, hey, she's drinking. But I've gone through a huge rabbit hole looking for this video, right? Like, if it was out there, there's a 9 out of 10 chance I would have found it. Because somebody in the Toku fandom community would have seen it, saved it, even if they didn't understand what it meant at the time. Even if it was like, oh, hey, I'm going to save this video clip on TikTok for my favorite actress. It's a thing that we all do in fandom.
Yeah.
Nobody's come forward with a video. If it was on TikTok, if it was on Twitter, somewhere that publicly people could see it, you would find it.
No, especially if it's the damning evidence.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. So, no, nobody has it that I've seen. If you have it, email me it. I'll take a look at it and I'll do a follow-on story. But now it's not there. Okay. So let's skip to this one.
Oh, before you continue, Riz.
Yeah.
So lately in the fan, I'm not sure if this was a part of the issue they had with her, but apparently I've heard from the fandom that pretty much that I guess some people in Japan don't like her because she's half Filipino. Is that accurate to say?
I have a
I've
section.
seen-
Go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah, I've seen some people bring that up, but there's been some previous Sentai actors and Kamen Rider actors that have also been half Filipino, and they haven't been given the same treatment.
It's interesting. Okay.
So
Yeah.
she's
So-
not the first.
Yeah, there's been a lot of vitriol online and Reddit and other communities where they're saying this is xenophobic activity, this is racism, it's a witch hunt to attack Maya because she is half Filipina. I will say she's not the first in the Sentai world. Yui Koike, who played Ihim in Gokaizer, is also at least partially Filipina, if not completely. I have to go back and double check, but I think she's at least half Filipina.
Mhm.
So why? I don't think that has any credence here. And I think the reason people are bringing that up is in her bio on the Bunsen article, they reference her heritage as being partial Filipina. I am looking for it now, but y'all can keep talking while I scroll through here and find it.
Yeah. I also don't know if this is for certain, but they also said Mako, Shinken Pink's actress was part Filipino as well. And Jimeno from King Oger, I heard she was part Canadian.
I mean, that's possible.
But none of them ever got like Im's actress too. None of them ever got this kind of treatment.
No.
In fact, Im's actress is really beloved in Japan.
Yeah.
As well as the others. So
and she's a sweetheart. Like they all are
Yeah.
sweethearts, dude. I've met
Yeah.
okay, at this point, how many have I met? At least 5 or 6 Sentai and Toku actors. So I've met Ryota, I've met Yui, I've met the twins, I met Dragon Ranger, and I met Kamen Rider Black, and Setman Swan Ranger. So they've all been fantastic human beings because, look, end of the day, the Japanese people are very kind when you meet them, especially when they come from overseas and they come here and they're like blown away, bro, by how many people fly to San Antonio, fly to Anaheim to see them at the con and meet them, because it's a big deal for us in America to go meet a Sentai or Kamen Rider actor. And so, no, these guys are beloved, and none of them have ever given any indication that they've been persecuted in the past for their heritage, be it Filipina, be it Taiwanese, be it whatever. It's never come up. But here's in the first Bunsen article, they do mention she's half Japanese and half Filipino, but that's more of a factual statement. That's a fact. They're not doing anything here to like smear her for being half Filipino. They're not saying, oh, well, you know, the Filipinian people, you can't trust them or anything like that, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. I do want to talk more about like the fan reactions to this stuff after, but I do have a little bit more to cover here. So the Toei announcement, apology and announcement regarding the cast of #1 Sentai Gozyuger. Thank you for your continued support of our program, #1 Sentai Gozyuger. It has come to our attention that Maya Imamori, who appeared on #1 Sentai Gozyuger, engaged in conduct that violated the law prohibiting the consumption of alcohol by persons under the age of 20. We offer our deepest apologies for concern and inconvenience that has caused to our viewers, as well as to the program sponsors and other related parties. Background. We received a report from Maya's agency regarding her drinking behavior while under the age of 20. 2. The program response. We take this matter seriously and in the interest of thorough compliance have decided to take the following measure. Termination of casting contract and withdrawal we have discussed with TV Asai. The termination of Maya Imamori's contract, and she will be stepping down from #1 Sentai Gozyuger. And preventing recurrence in our attitude towards program production. Going forward, we will strengthen cooperation with relevant parties to thoroughly instruct our cast on social responsibility and ethics, and will also re-educate all those involved in program production on compliance awareness, striving to produce even more reliable programs. We once again apologize for the incident, which has damaged the trust of our viewers. So we have statements from the agency and from Toei about this. And so there's a lot of wildfire here, right? Like infidelity, cheating on people, drinking underage. There's just a lot of things to unpack here. And I don't know, it's just a very deeply concerning thing to see them stating that, hey, we're going to terminate this girl, this 19-year-old kid, from a season because she drank underage, and possibly, in my opinion, they probably used the drinking as a reason to get rid of her. That's more acceptable, because saying that she would, confirming the Bunshun article that she was committing infidelity or whatever, that's a bigger blow to her reputation than drinking underage, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I know in some East Asian cultures that they kind of look down upon you over stuff like that. Like, especially with the whole drinking underage. I don't know why that is, but I guess that's just how the different cultures are.
That's something that I read, that it's a much bigger, I guess, like social sin in Japan to do that than it is here in the US.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where we look at it, it's like, well, that's an overreaction, but in Japan, it's not.
And don't even, if she ever did any drugs, like drugs, well, that would be 10 times worse than that and what she's dealing with right now.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. 100%.
Shoot, there was an actor from Squid Game in the last season who is still hated by South Korea, all because he smoked a joint. I'm not even joking.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm getting out of all of this is that either she had an accident and drank before she needed to. There's a chance that the stress of having all this muck thrown at her could have stressed her out and led her to do it. Because, I mean, that happens to people all the time. You get stressed out, you go drink. Or, yeah, it's a cover-up to get rid of her. Either way, she's being kicked off the show because of the agency. Why is that the case? Maybe the agency has close ties to Toei and they don't want to get on, bad blood with each other. But
I always figured
it feels like she's getting thrown under the bus.
Yeah, because I always felt like, because the whole I guess because Toei's like, well, since you don't have this agency is not part of your resume anymore, then we can't keep you on as a actor for the show. So
I mean, I also seen that a lot of previous Sentai actors have worked for this agency. So them and Toei have a close connection, and they don't want to.
Not true.
Oh, it's not true? Okay.
No. So hang on. Where'd it go? I think it's this one. No, we haven't gotten there yet. Okay, let me cover that piece and we can talk about it.
Okay.
Because I think it's in there. Okay. So the other thing I just want to draw attention to, also on the Seiji website, is they have a defamation policy. Here it is. Thank you very much for your continued support of Seiji and our affiliate talents. Since our establishment in April of 2022. This company didn't exist before April 2022.
Okay.
By their own admission.
So I guess Toei's trying to get on their good side for future endeavors, maybe?
Maybe, but I don't know.
Because I feel like Toei would have liked to have kept her around regardless, but the agency forced their hand. That's kind of what I'm getting out of this.
That's what it feels like, yeah.
Yeah. Once I read through this and talk it, I do have one more article I got to go pull. But Thank you very much for your continued support of Seizu and our affiliate talents since our establishment in April 2022. We have received warm support from everyone, and we are pleased that our affiliate talents are finding more opportunities to sign every day. On the other hand, we have occasionally seen malicious defamatory behavior on social media and internet message boards that aim to purposely tarnish the reputation or credibility of the agency and its affiliated talents and to unfairly interfere with their business and talent activities, and we view this as an issue that must be dealt with strictly. Going to the next page. Therefore, in order to create an environment and structure where our affiliate talents can work with peace of mind, Seizu will not only take swift measures, including legal action against any defamatory acts against the agency, but will also establish a collaborative system with experts in police agencies and take more decisive action than ever before. We look forward to continued patronage in the future. So, this was posted in 2023, so 2 years ago roughly. And so if this is their policy and you have this big whirlwind of stuff coming out from Bunshun, why hasn't Seizu done anything more?
That's also true, yeah. Like, you would think that with them having talent this young, you would, steer in the right path.
Yeah. Okay. So one last piece of info that we have to go over tonight is from a fan website called Aki News. They are a Kamen Rider and Super Sentai information site. I was actually tipped off to this article by Hakalis on YouTube from his video. He kind of found it and talked about it in there. And I think it's important just to kind of mention it. But keep in mind, like the other one from Amlabob or whatever the website name was, this is a fan website. It's not any reputable website or news source. So the information here, take it as you will. It's not anything more than speculation and rumor and just whatever. But it's talking about Maya's departure and the underage drinking. And the headline also mentions, was the departure to avoid a third Bunshun bomb. Okay, so I translated these tweets. There's nothing in here of real substance or value, just reactions to Maya departing. It ranges from people saying in Japan, yeah, she needs to go work in other industries, or sees the reason the Sentai will end, blah, 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 whatever. We've already debunked the Sentai is not ending because of this, but whatever. And then there's the obvious AI art, but at the bottom here is a statement that I think is interesting. Maya's agency and Toei remain silent even after the Bunshun bombshell about her affair and Two Timing. Bunshun dug deeper into Imamori and discovered a video of her drinking alcohol on TikTok. Bunshun reported to the agency that underage drinking may be a problem, and to avoid a third article, the agency reported it to Toei, and they're speculating that Maya was released from Toei to avoid a third article being written about her. I don't necessarily think this is true, in my opinion.
But I can also buy it, though.
I can buy this being a thing, but while I think it's very possible that this happened and, Bunshun kind of did drive this by threatening a third article, if we take into account that no video has surfaced showing her drinking alcohol, and there's been no real legitimacy given to the affairs outside of the Bunshun article. No one else has really commented on it. No one else has really confirmed it. Even in the second article, they disproved themselves. So, I don't think Bunshun is the big reason this happened. I think they contributed to, the image of Maya, and possibly the drinking that she did do was the, part of the reason. I just don't think that a tabloid has the power to tell Toei, of all people, or an agency that, hey, we're going to put another article out there if you don't do what we're saying. I just don't see that happening because
Me either.
that would imply that you have this powerful thing that can tell a massive media conglomerate and a reputable company, I guess. I don't know how reputable they are. They're a fairly new company. But even so, that they have that kind of influence. Because, I mean, their articles didn't even get that much traction, really. Not outside of our community and the Japanese community. So, I don't know. It's interesting info to have. I don't think it's the actual reason for it, though. So, with all that said, I've covered everything I can find so far about this. I will just reemphasize again. I think they did Maya very dirty in this entire thing. I don't think she deserved any of the stuff that happened to her.
No.
I am hoping and praying to God that Maya has a strong support system in her family and her friends that can help her through this really difficult time. I will say I have not been the biggest fan of number one Sentai Gozyuger. I'm actually behind the scenes of Toku Secrets. One big reason why we have not gotten any further in recording, just because I don't want to deal with some of the episodes that I've watched so far. I didn't like them. But that is not a reflection on Maya and her work. That's a reflection on the story writing of the season not being great. I think
it doesn't help it though. That's the thing. This is not helping it at all.
No, the writing doesn't help, not one bit. But I don't think Maya deserves this stuff because, like I said earlier in the podcast, I think Maya is poised to be a GOAT if she was in a different season. Like if you had this actress in something like, I don't know, Go-Onzer or Boom Boonzer or Senken or Gokai or one of the seasons that we all collectively as a group of 4 people enjoyed, I think she would have had much more, she would have signed a lot more. But that's neither here nor there. The point I want to make here is Maya's a kid. She's 19 years old. She's trying to find her way through life. And these articles don't really help one bit. It's very upsetting to see this person being dragged through with affair, then cheating, then alcohol, and then being terminated. And not just being terminated, but like literally she is being erased from everything.
I also saw, and I you can go on the Super Sentai subreddit. I think this came up yesterday. Goju Wolf's actor hinted at them doing reshoots for episodes that they've already done.
I think I saw something about that. I saw something, but I thought it was Gozu Yellow that said it.
It's one of the face actors. Mentioned something about them beginning reshoots for episodes they've already done.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're going the length to try to remove any trace of her from the show.
Now,
so
I think it's right. I think they should just like at least have her be there, and then just not have her do anything for like future things like team ups and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to say, and this might be controversial to say it, Maya is 100% without a doubt a victim in all this, right? Like,
yeah, she is. Yeah.
There's no two ways about that. However, my controversial opinion I've been holding is, despite popular belief, I believe Toei is a second victim to all this.
Yeah.
Now, you back home might be thinking, Riz, what are you smoking? Why is Toei a victim here? Well, think about it. Toei is not making a lot of money off of Sentai. They're in the process of rebranding to Universe Warriors or whatever right now for next season. And if you look online at all the articles coming out, and I'll be honest, I have not gone through enough research to understand everything yet, but I will. But the part of the reason, from what I understand, for why they're doing all this rebrand and everything is Super Sentai is not marketable and successful in Japan anymore, and that's the primary audience. The Japanese do not care as much as it hurts us as the Western audience. They don't care about us because we're not contributing to their numbers and the broadcast. They're not contributing enough to the toy sales to matter, right? Like, we're not the primary market. I mean, let's be honest about this. 99% of people in the Western audience that are watching Sentai, Kamen Rider, Metal Heroes, whatever, dude, we're pirating it. We're watching it through fan subs that are being put online by people who have the time to do it so we can enjoy it. So they don't care about us. So Toei's in financial difficulties right now with Super Sentai as a brand. So for them to have to go off and then reshoot like 13 episodes, give or take, to salvage a season to launch off of to go to their next season, dude, that's expensive. That's money they don't really have, honestly. And or if they have it, they shouldn't be spending it because they have other things to get ready for, like University Warriors and whatever. So there's a lot going on here that Toei is being forced into because of a Seizu contract. Remember, Maya Imamori is a young actress, but she is also a representative face for this agency. And they have the rule, no underage drinking in compliance with Japanese law. But they own her likeness at the end of the day. And so my thinking is, whatever happened last week or week before, and they're saying, nope, you're out, bye, farewell, good sayonara, etc. Oh, hey, and by the way, Toei, you can't use her likeness anymore for anything.
Nope.
In fact, the episode 38 preview that was supposed to drop last weekend didn't drop because they don't have a preview anymore because episode 38 was going to be Maya-centric. So,
and the preview did leak on Twitter yesterday.
Dude.
And the people who were posting it on Twitter got DMCA'd today.
Which is why I'm not playing the clip. I have a copy of it, but I'm not going to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. They are making Maya's role in the Sentai going forward. It's going to become lost media, dude, at some point.
Yeah.
It also makes me question what the Blu-ray releases of this season are going to end up looking like, if the season's even going to get released on physical media.
Well, the other thing I'm also concerned about, the movie that came out over the summer that we were talking about needing off podcast to fill in the gaps in the story.
It hasn't come out yet, has it?
It's not been released.
Yeah.
So now I'm wondering, can they release it?
Man.
So there's a lot of things here that just it's a very difficult situation.
Yeah, and with this season's reputation already, because I've seen on Twitter and I've seen on Reddit everywhere, this season's not being well received even by Western fans of Sentai. This season is going to be looked upon very like sour.
Yeah.
With everything around it, from the quality of the show to this, like, man, for 50th anniversary, this could have gone as bad as possible.
Well, I think the last time we had an actor or actress leave like this was Bio Yellow.
Yeah.
From what I understand, Bio Yellow just didn't come to work one day.
I heard she just disappeared altogether, and they have not been able to figure out what happened to her.
I don't think it's that extreme, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, because like nobody's heard from her ever since, and I'm just feeling like, whatever happened to her? Like,
Yeah.
How you just disappear? How you just disappear and nobody knows what happened to you? Like,
Yeah.
Dude, I have no idea.
And I'll be honest, we've been kind of like ripping this season. This has made me question if I even want to finish it.
I've been considering it. I'm not going to say right now if this will be the thing that'll stop me, because I do want to see it out now, because I want to continue covering the craziness that we're going to be seeing with the Sentai. This is going to be unprecedented, the way they're going to be handling it. So I kind of want to continue covering, just because I want to see firsthand what's happening.
Fair enough. Because, yeah, like I said, we've never seen something like this happen before. So,
yeah.
But that's all I really had for this. I want to close off by saying to Maya Imamori, if somehow, some way, I know you're never going to see it, but if you do end up coming across this video podcast, just know that the Western audience stands by you. I know the Japanese counterparts to us over there are not as kind. They have been dragging your name harder than than they should be. And that's even evidence in our last video we released. I clipped out part of our Gozyuger podcast to make a Maya video, and the comments from the Japanese have been kind of mean. So I just want to say to Maya, hold your head up high. You are much appreciated, and we will continue to support you. And I think the Justice for Maya Imamori hashtag is very apt. And I hope you do see justice one day for all this stuff. Even if you did make a mistake, even if you drink underage, cool. Doesn't matter. You don't deserve all of this. You don't deserve to be erased from the franchise in this way.
Yeah, she don't deserve all the backlash from the fans saying that, oh, it's your fault. Like that, like it's unnecessary.
Yeah. Like I went to Asai's Instagram for the most recent post where he announced he's leaving back in September, before all this Bunshun articles came out. And if you look at the comments prior to the articles dropping, it's all full of love and support, saying, "Oh, you're a hero, you're an inspiration. We love you. We hope you feel better. Godspeed, etc." The minute the articles drop, the Japanese narrative changed completely to, "Oh, you guys are the reason the Sentai's ending. How dare you seduce a young girl into infidelity?" Or, "God, Maya, you're such a you-know-what for doing things like this, blah, 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 whatever." That's not... I just find all that very distasteful.
Yeah. Doesn't surprise me, though.
But at least I will continue to try and cover any updates to the Maya Imamori story, if anything else does pop up in the future. I know going forward, we still have some mods to Ranger to finish out to get through the end of the season. Gozyuger, we're going to continue until we decide not to. But as of right now, we're going to continue trying to cover it the best we can. It might get more difficult because Maya, in my opinion, was the best part of the season, and she's no longer there, and she's being dragged like this. It'll be much more difficult to watch. But
even if we don't finish it, I will still finish it on my own time.
Yeah, and I might do the same, Anthony. Honestly, just because I just want to see the tomfoolery they're going to do.
Yeah,
for lack of a better word on a podcast.
But even going into the show, I'm curious as to, are they going to put a new character in Goju Unicorn's spot? Or are they just going to have a faceless double? Or are they going to recast?
So, a lot of people are saying it'll be her sister Odo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that episode, episode 30, it will be the handoff to Odo.
Mm.
Because the original synopsis apparently said something along the lines of Maya's going to give up being a detective to spend time with her sister, and that's before all this happened, I think.
Okay.
So that'd be a good opportunity to hand it off to her. But then if they have to do research to integrate her more, that'd be difficult.
It's gonna be pretty sloppy if they try to keep the character, but lessen her scenes and just delete her face actors altogether. Like that's gonna be way more difficult than just replacing her.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's our podcast. We are the Toku Secret Podcast. Stay tuned for Monster Ranger, possibly some more Gozyuger. Nate and I will be at Ranger Stop Orlando later this week, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys in person. I know we'll be running into our friends from all over Rangers First there, so stay tuned for a lot of fun content from that. And see you all next time. Bye for now.
If you enjoyed listening to the Toku Secrets podcast, please check us out at animesecrets.org and follow us on all our social media pages such as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And also feel free to check out our other podcasts, including Anime Declassified and the Jedi Squadron. You can also leave us any feedback you'd like to offer us directly on our website. If you're listening to this on Spotify or iTunes, we thank you so much, and please leave us a rating out of 5 stars. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel if you're not already subscribed, and leave any comments down below, as we love to take the time to read comments left on our channel and give our fans, shout-outs. If you have any seasons of Super Sentai, Power Rangers, or other Tokusatsu shows that you'd like for us to check out, please don't hesitate to say so in your feedback. With all that said, we thank you so much for taking the time to listen to our podcast, and we will see you next time as we continue our never-ending journey through the world of Tokusatsu. But until that time, you all stay safe, we love you, and may the power protect you.